Hello, good afternoon. How's everybody doing today? My name is Debbie Tona. I am a content creator here on Miss Lilians, and I am live on Miss Lilians' page along with my own page, Tona Transformations, and my YouTube channel. So I can see all your comments in one space. So just tell me hi. Let me know where you guys are from, what you're up to doing. Are you dying of heat? I kind of am right now because it's hot. I turn off my fans in my workroom, and my air conditioning doesn't work back here, so it's hot. And then I shut the door. So for you guys, I will sweat. So I come on every other Wednesday onto Miss Lilians, and I try to show you some blending methods with some of this amazing paint that we have in this line. Today I chose 3 colors. Now, I'm not sure what they're going to do, how they're going to work together, but I picked up the Bohemian Queen. She's definitely a queen. And then I picked up one of my favorite grains in the line, which is Lichen. It's Lichen, Lichen like L-I-K-E-N and Lichen like moss, L-I-C-H-E-N. And then I thought maybe we might throw a little jalapeno in there just for good measure. I'm not sure yet, but for sure we're going to use the Bohemian. This is a desk that I had in my storage. Can you see it? Super cute desk that I had. There we go. I did just add these 2 little would you bend pieces on here. If you want to know how to do that, you can definitely go see some of my videos on YouTube for that. But I just wanted to add something because the knobs on this are just plain wood. They're not like super sensational. This is not really a desk. Probably in olden days it was using a desk, but I think it would really make a nice entry table or a cute little side table. So what y'all think of this one so far? So I thought we would do some blending. So I'm going to start out with, I think the green. I'm not really sure which direction I want to go. Sometimes I sit there and I think, where am I headed with this, right? So when I start a piece of furniture, I never know. People ask me all the time, how do you choose colors? To be honest, I sometimes just choose the colors based on how I feel that moment. And it just will come to me. At other times, I'll paint an entire piece and I'll hate the color and I'll repaint it. So try to get colors that are going to go nicely together. You can get out the color wheels, you can do all that stuff. But really, if you just experiment, eventually, because when you blend with one color, you add another color, you come up with a 3rd and a 4th and a 5th and a 6th and a 7th color. So don't be afraid to play with funky colors. You know, this is a bright teal. This is a earthy green, moss green, and then a super bright pop of something. So when I blend, I like to throw down a base coat. So I'm going to just put in my little container here some of the green, which is the lichen, and I'm just going to throw basically what I call throw. I'm going to turn the fan on in here in a minute, so it will help dry this. When you have like pediments and stuff on your pieces, just use your brush to really get in there. I'm going to bring you closer. Let's see how close I can get without ripping this off my computer. There we go. I'm bringing it down a little bit. Let me see me. There we go. How's that? Is that good? I'm just going to throw down a base coat. Now, as you can see, and I'm going to be swatting flies because we have so many flies in our back room and they're driving me crazy. Do I have any other people that flies drive? I mean, I am freaking going nuts. They just landed. Well, that was fun. But of course, they only land on us, right? When we don't want them to. I was just back here earlier. I was like, what's on me? And it's a fly. So it's streaky. That's how it's supposed to be. That's totally how a first coat should be. That is totally normal and exactly how a first coat of paint on any piece of furniture that you do should be. When you guys have a minute, tell me hi. Let me know where you're watching from. Are you in the United States? Are you in another country? I know we have a lot of followers from other countries on here. Miss Lilians is a paint that doesn't need to be top coated, hence the word no wax, meaning no wax chalk paint. If you put your first coat on relatively thin, it will dry relatively fast. So you don't have to put it on super thick. The legs, I'll probably go down like halfway down the legs. I really don't feel like putting on the ground and painting this for you guys today. So we're just throwing on a base coat. I like to use one of the colors that I'm going to blend with in my base coat to just give me something to start with. And then the second coat, we will blend other colors within that original base coat. And it will all just be peachy keen. So everybody, summer's winding down, right? It hits August, and the next thing you know, it's Labor Day, and you're like, wow, what happened to summer, right? Doesn't it seem like, well, here, I'm in Idaho. It seems to me like we waited forever, like we do every year, for it to get hot. And now, hey, Ronnie, you're playing me on both. Good girl. YouTube and Facebook. Love it. Now it's like, it's starting to cool down. We're in the mid-90s. We're like 90 today. We were high hundreds. We were like 105 a couple weeks ago. We generally don't get that hot here, and we have a super dry climate, so I don't have the humidity like a lot of you do that are watching, like my friend Ronnie that lives in Massachusetts. So just gonna throw down a quick coat of paint. Gonna do it on the top. Now, to prep this piece, I did wash it first with our first step cleaner, and then I went ahead and scuff sanded it. Now, I scuff sand every single thing that I paint. That's just me. A lot of furniture artists don't. I tend to do vintage pieces, so I like to scuff sand my pieces to ensure the best adherence of my paint. I have never skipped that step. Only time I ever did, my paint peeled off. So you do you, I'll do me, and my process is to scuff sand. And when I mean by scuff sand, I mean take a piece of 150 and just run it literally across your piece until you get something for your paint to stick to. I call it like a tooth, like a little bit of teeth, so it can stick to it. Use those brushes, get in between. There was a big crack down here, so I went ahead and covered and sealed that up so you no longer can see it. A lot of times on tables like this, I would strip the top and stain it, but since there was that big crack and I went ahead and filled it in, I decided I would just paint the whole top. So we're just quickly putting down a quick coat of paint. A fan on here. We can get it to dry super quick. When you do a thin coat of paint, you will, whoa, pressing that. I have this turbo fan that jumps around the floor, and this has a rack underneath it. Like it sounds like it's going to take off. Hey, Jen, it's a pretty color, right? So it's drying pretty quick. And I noticed that I missed this whole lip right here. You really want your first coat to dry before you even attempt to put a second coat on. Because if you don't, guess what will happen? You pull off the paint that you just put down. You've been watching my YouTube videos, Ronnie. Thank you for that. So this one I do stream live on numerous channels. That way it can be seen everywhere and the replay will be easily found. But I am using Miss Lilians today. Lichen is the green. The name of it is a beautiful moss green. And then we're going to use Bohemian Queen, which I think is going to be pretty. And I'm trying As I'm sitting here letting this dry, I'm trying in my head to figure out how I want to blend it. I think I want a lot of turquoise. So I'm just going to let this super fan, it makes so much noise. I'm so sorry. But when you paint live, you got to let the paint to dry, right? When I do YouTube videos, I can stop them and start them, which is really beautiful, right? But I'm live on YouTube right now, so bear with me, you guys. Don't leave. If you have any questions about any, have you tried Miss Lilians paint? If you're on her page, have you ever tried it? It's a great paint that doesn't need to be sealed, which is beautiful because most of the chalk paints do need to be sealed or they leave a chalky finish. This one does not need to be sealed, which makes for a very nice semi-like, it's not really, you can't hear the fan? Oh, wow. That's good because it's super loud. But the finish is kind of like a matte satin. Does that make sense? Not a shiny satin, but a matte satin. Just a little bit of sheen, which I absolutely love. I used to only like the matte finishes on everything because chalk paints are usually matte finish, but it just has a little bit of a sheen, which is actually beautiful. And when you touch it and stuff, it doesn't leave fingerprints or anything. You've never tried Miss Lilians, Jen? Right on. Eggshell. Yeah, Ronnie, you're right. Yeah, that's what it is. It's not a flat, it's an eggshell finish. All right. Turn this fan off. It's the fan, like if you keep it on the table, it'll totally go across the whole table and jump. It's like my turbo charge. I'm sweating though because it's super hot in my shop because I have to turn off the outside fans when I'm live or you can't hear me. So thanks for tuning in, you guys. I'm so happy that you could join me. Isn't this stunning? What do you think we can do with this? I'm thinking the green peeking underneath. We'll add the green and look at that turquoise. Turquoise together. God, these flies are going to be. I mean, if you see me swatting, because these flies are driving me absolutely insane. Now, when I go to use my brush to put a second coat of paint, can you see the absolute visible, a million times difference in the first coat and the second coat? Remember when I tell you the first coat is a thin surface base coat. It is not meant to cover. The second coat, my friends, look at that. Before, after. That's like night and day. So when I see people online on these forums, and you guys know there's a million of them, and they say, well, that paint doesn't cover. It's because those people, that's what I was going to go do, unplug that. Those people are trying to cover their pieces in one coat. And so they make the bad mistake of putting too much paint on their first coat. That is a rookie mistake. Too much paint on their first coat. When you can come back, when I hear people tell me I used an entire 16 ounces to paint something this size, or an 8 ounce to paint this size, this probably won't take me, but maybe, God, there's 3 flies right here. One, I got him. Sorry, you guys, but this is going to be the fly spectacular today. Anybody else grossed out by the damn flies? Ugh. But the paint is not meant to go on in one coat. Seriously, it is not meant or designed to go on in one coat. A little bit goes a long way. I would say I probably use 1 ounce total of all the paints combined together. When you're talking, we're using little tiny amounts. And I'm putting it in the same container, right? So this is Bohemian Queen. We're going to go in with her. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Boy, did I pick the right color. We're going right over that wet lichen paint. Oh, baby girl. Come, mama. Oh, that is gorgeous. Let's get you guys closer. Let me get you back to it. Let's readjust. You got to see this. You got to see this. So we're talking a moss green and a teal green. And we're talking, this is how much paint I'm painting with. The green is still wet. I'm pulling it across and just basically wiping it into the lichen. Wow, that is so dang pretty. Now, just because Miss Lilians is the no wax paint, that doesn't mean that I can't go back over with some dark brown wax after I'm done and add some accent or dry brush over this, okay? That's just stunning. These are so pretty together. Start on this. Look at the difference. Before, one coat of paint. After. Second coat. Did you see that? Fabulous. Oh my gosh, you guys. Let me get you positioned. Okay, we're going to start with same brush. I'm not using two brushes. I'm using one brush. This is hardly any green paint. And we're going to go over it. Get some paint on this drawer, right? You let your brush do its job. Let it get into those nooks and crannies. Let it really work for you. Get it all into that pediment. Now, I did add this pediment. It is a Would You Bend piece. Like I said, if you'd like to know more about Would You Bend, you could head over to my YouTube channel, which is Tone of Transformations, and I have many videos on there where I'm using it and how to apply it. This right now, we are more concerned with this gorgeous paint. So we've got the green on there, right? We've laid it out. Now we're going to take a little bit of this blue, and we're going to come in on the sides. We're going to blend because they're both wet right now. We're going to just continue it. We're going to blend it on this side. We're going to just look at that. Little drops, okay? Little tiny drops. We're going to leave the middle still a brighter, like the mossy green. Darn, that is just so pretty. That's a blend. That is a blend, my friends. Now looking back, this one looks like it has a little more blue in it. This drawer over here, so I'm just going to dip into my green. I'm going to pull it from the middle and pull it back out and blend out to the blue to tone it down a little bit and work it back and forth. And this paint is dry on this side and this paint on the other side isn't. So it just depends, and we're just going to keep doing that out. I love this. Now, my thought process was this. I'm going to grab a little bit of, I don't know if I need this, but we're going to try it. I'm going to grab a different container just because that paint is a lot in there. Oh, my lid's stuck on. When you guys' lids get stuck on, turn them upside down, hit them flat on a hard surface like a concrete floor, and they come right off. You thought I was nuts using these colors together? I am nuts. You know that. But aren't they pretty? They are so pretty. Now let's try this one. We'll just use a little bit. You guys, when I say I don't need that much paint, I don't need that much paint. Now, I'm going to take my same brush, dip it in. I'm thinking right here. Highlight this. And it may not need it, but it's kind of just giving us more of that Kelly, like a little bit of a highlighted area right here, especially with this pediment. Paint's still wet. Look at, see how little amount of paint I'm using? When I tell you when you learn how to blend that you don't need a lot of paint, you've got to believe me. Please believe me, because it's a true story. The less amount of paint you use, the better off you are. This side is not so wet because this one's already been done earlier, so I'm not blending as easily, but that's okay. That is fixed. I'm grabbing a little bit of a sprayer, a little bit of water, a little bit of a spritz will reactivate the underlying paint, because underlying paint is just dry to the touch. It is not what we call cured. So paint takes a little bit to get cured, right? It takes a little hot minute to cure itself. And we're going to add a little bit more the moss green, which is the lichen, and I'm going to add a touch of the blue. Don't be afraid if you kind of mess it up or to go back over it with your paint. You can do this as many times as you like. If you don't like the colors that it ends up being, then stop and do it again. Okay, we're going to stand up now. I'm going to move all my stuff. Let me get set up so I can bring you guys up with me. We're going to try this color combo on this top. And I'm going to work you back here. I'm going to point you down so you can hopefully see what I'm doing. And I'm probably just going to do this. Sideways and down, maybe? Or sideways and... It's so hard because I'm trying to get you to be able to see everything. Okay, so let's just do like, come on, Debbie, get this. There we go. So I still haven't put any more paint in my jar. I'm gonna need a little bit more of lichen in here. But can you not see how pretty and how easily this stuff goes on? And when I'm saying I'm pouring hardly any, I'm not pouring that much paint. I never paint out of my jars, not because I'm worried about cross-contamination. I'm not. I paint too much and use paint quickly. I just don't want to waste paint. And if I pour a little at a time, I more than apt will not waste paint, and I will allow myself to not waste paint on my paintbrush. Because if I take my jar and I dip my brush in, guess what happens? I'm going to go all the way down and I'm going to get paint all the way up here. That's not what I want to do. I don't want to get paint past, see this? These little spots. That way I'm not wasting paint. That's your tona tip of the day. You've got to make sure, you don't want to waste paint. This paint is a precious commodity, and the thing about it is I'm always like, the one time that I painted the wrong way, and then I needed more paint and I didn't have enough, it was like, because if you get your paint up past halfway up your thing, if you get it to the ferrule, this paint up here is just waste. It's just sitting there. You'll never use it. You can't, it's not painting. Paint only is at the end of your brushes, right? At the end of your bristles. You see how good the second coat goes on? Isn't that gorgeous? Over this dark brown color, right? That's crazy how well this paint covers on this second coat. If you are a person that freaks out about brush strokes, just lightly sand your finish with a piece of 220 sandpaper and your brush strokes will go away. That's what I do. You may then have to top coat it because you may no longer have the no wax appearance, but that's okay too. So who has practiced blending? Let me see by a comment of yes. You like the blend, you don't like to blend, it's too hard, you don't want to try it. Then we're going to go in with the Bohemian and we're going to just take it around the side right here. Remember, the paint is wet still. We're just going to give her a nice little pretty shimmer up in the front here. Look at hardly any paint on this brush. By the way, I'm using a Klingon 040 brush. This is my favorite brush of all times. The only brush I'll paint with. So I think probably with this one, we're just going to do like around the outside and leave the middle green. Sorry, my daughter is in there. She's trying to choke herself. It's fine. Just kind of lightly pull it in on the sides. It doesn't take a lot of paint to blend. That's the beauty of it. People think you have to have so much stain paint. You know what? You can buy it in all the colors in 8-ounce sizes. So now I'm just kind of giving the highlight around the edge of the top of the piece. I may put a transfer on this. I'm not sure. If I do, I have a really pretty transfer that I was thinking of earlier, and I may use it. You love to blend, Ronnie? You're average. Oh, coverage. Yes. Jen, you like to blend too? The Miss Lilians paint blends very, very easily. I've blended so many pieces. That's all I ever do when I do my lives is blend, because I personally love to blend, and I'm still not happy with how this one looks. So I'm going to pull back some of the green right here. There we go. It's pretty. It's really pretty. I'm really thinking of this one, even though it is no wax, I'm going to add a dark wax on here and really get in all this and really bring out the details. Because sometimes when you use dark wax, you can get a lot of depth that you don't really ever have any other way. Let's look at the legs now. Let me slide you down. Let's do this one. Okay. So look at my bowl, right? Got all the colors in it. You don't need a brush for every single color. A lot of people, when they start, they think, oh gosh. If you're using colors that really go well together, don't worry about it. I don't like to wash brushes myself, so I try to use as little amount of brushes as I possibly can. So the leg, we're going to take it down. It's so pretty. Now just remember to let your paint dry in between coats. I think it already looks fabulous. Right here on this rim, I noticed that it's a little, I didn't come around over the front, so I'm just going to grab a little bit of that Bohemian Queen, dust her over the top there. Well, that's pretty. Add her right here in the middle. I like to blend with my drawers in. You can take them out if you want, because I just hit this, so I'm just going to redo it. A little subtleness here and there. The thing about blending is it just needs that little bit of blah, right? This little bit of. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. I will post probably in the next week or so finished pictures of this one. And so you guys can take a look at it. But let's look at what we used. So we used this gorgeous green. It's called Lichen. Like I said, it was Liken, Lichen. I didn't put my affiliate link. I will do the live and put my affiliate link on there. I forgot to do that earlier. And you can order paint directly from Miss Lilians, or you can order it from me on tonertransformations.com. I carry all the colors. We used Bohemian Queen. I'm going to put this back on. You know what's going to happen? I'll pick them up and spill them. This little pediments right here, wouldn't that be cool with like some gold or something, some kind of gilding wax or something like that? This one is called Bohemian Queen. Okay, can I show you something? Can I show you how little I used of this paint? I just used a dab, and it added so much depth. So you don't have to have this huge arsenal. You just need to buy 8 ounces and use little dots of it, and you can make colors and different things. And we popped a little bit of jalapeno in the middle. It probably wasn't necessary, but it's just given me just that little bit of highlight that I needed in the middle of each. Like I said, I think I will probably finish off with some brown wax. I'll probably add some gold because the green and the gold are so gorgeous together. So if you have any questions, yeah, everybody says gold. I think so too. Let me know. If I will put my affiliate link in here. If you'd like to order paint, you can get it directly from Miss Lilians, and I do get a little small commission for that. Okay, you guys, you know what? Thanks so much for watching me on Miss Lilians on my YouTube and my all personal page, Tona Transformations. Once again, my name is Debbie Tona. I am from Nampa, Idaho. I am with Tona Transformations. You guys go out and be fabulous. I'll see you not next Wednesday, but the Wednesday after. Bye. Have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the last ends of summer.